rainbow. These tinted glasses may shield this sun, but there is no way this determined Dale can hide his heritage. This season, the Jarrett legacy looms large. He returns tonight to a track that toasted his talents a year ago. But both Martin and Jarrett need help from history. A replay of June's rough ride here at Richmond for the Rainbow Warriors could open the door for these two to win the battle and climb back into the war. Historically speaking, some of our nation's most ferocious battles have taken place here in the Richmond area. And tonight's fray may just join that list. Ironically, this race is sponsored by a battery company. And it was 1 year ago tonight that Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin began their final charge toward a Winston Cup championship. Remember, Jarrett logged 3 wins in his final 9 starts to finish just 14 points shy, with Martin another 15 back. Could it happen again? Well, you know what they say about history.
In the fast-paced racing world, this has not been a typical season for Terry Labonte. His consistency and his smile have faded in the last 3 months. A winner at Wild Wild Richmond in June, he's been cold as ice ever since. Won top 10 in 11 races. Labonte's run into some walls, but he's certain he hasn't hit one. Intensity, speed, performance, trademarks of a champion, ready to win again. Rusty Wallace isn't hiding behind those shades. Instead, he's simply trying to dull the glare of disappointment. Racing well, just not winning. His last victory came here in June of '97, a small island in a turbulent sea and season of blown engines and blown opportunities. It's been smoother sailing this year, but Rusty's voyage lacks any racer's ultimate goal, a win. 53 races, no wins. Even an ice-cold Miller couldn't quench Rusty Wallace's thirst for victory lane. But Richmond International Raceway has been a sure cure for his winless hangover in the past. He has 6 wins here. He was 5th here last year, 3rd last spring. On the pole tonight, the first time this car has ever won the pole. Wallace and his crew have conquered consistency, but they haven't partied in victory lane in 1 year, 194 days, 18 hours, and 36 minutes. But who's counting? Will it be Miller time tonight? Well, take 2 and call me in the morning.
Mr. Excitement put on quite a show last night in the NASCAR Busch Series race, charging all the way from the back of the pack to finish in the 3rd position. Tonight, he'll also fall to the back of the pack for the start. Jimmy Spencer crashed hard during happy hour. He's okay. The car isn't, so Spencer has gone to a backup car. He says the car he wrecked was capable of winning the race, but he wasn't so confident of his backup car. Still, you can expect Spencer to provide a lot of excitement tonight as he tries to battle his way from the back of the pack to the front.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome to be with us again this year, Mr. Doug Pearson, President, North American Operations of Exide Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most dramatic words in the world of professional sports, here is Doug Pearson.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
And with that, a 3-hour roar begins that will end with one of the 43 cars and drivers in victory lane here tonight on a beautiful evening in Richmond, Virginia. We are live at Richmond International Raceway. ESPN Speed World welcomes you to the 25th race of the 1998 NASCAR Winston Cup season, the Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400. Going into this event, Jeff Gordon has a 199-point lead over Mark Martin after Mark's engine problems last week at Darlington. Pole sitter Wallace is 4th in points. Bobby Labonte and Jeremy Mayfield have never even recorded a top 5 here at Richmond. We have raced 4 times this year on short tracks, and Gordon has recorded 1 win. That was at Bristol. But both Martin and Dale Jarrett have accumulated more short track points, with Dale Jarrett's consistency putting him atop the list. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins. We're just about set to go racing. And, you know, a lot of times before the race, we talk about how within a few laps, there will be a second groove, a higher groove, and we'll see side-by-side racing. Well, we've already got that tonight, Ned.
Yes, we do. The Sawyers worked very hard when they designed this racetrack to make one where they could race side by side. And certainly they were able to do that last night in the Busch race here at the Richmond International Raceway, and I think we'll see a lot of it here tonight. And they not only can pass on the inside, they can pass on the outside as well. And, Benny, it really doesn't matter where you start in this race. You can still win it.
Oh, yeah. Folks, if your favorite driver is qualified back in the 12th or 15th row, don't worry about it, because as Ned said, you can pass this racetrack. As a matter of fact, Dale Jarrett here 1 year ago qualified on the inside of the 12th row and came away from here the winner.
Nearly 100,000 people are in attendance. Settle back and enjoy an evening of NASCAR Winston Cup racing. Back with the lineup of the green flag in a moment.
It starts here. It starts here. It also starts here and here. And it all starts right here at Walmart, home of the EverStart battery. All the coal-cranking power your truck, car, boat, or more will ever need. Power you can count on when you need it most. And since it's at Walmart, you can also count on a good price. EverStart. The name says it all.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of high-performance additives and cleaners. A complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetic molecules that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits.
Fuel and air mixture, a go.
So your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have ignition.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road.
In Denton, Texas, a lot of folks who work on their cars go to AutoZone because they know they're going to find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and good people like Tom Robinson. You see, Tom's the kind of guy who really likes to help folks out. And since he's been around cars most all his life, he knows his parts, too. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Tom, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Coming in, guys.
Look, Bill's in trouble. Don't worry, Bill. We'll take it from here. Go, 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 Bill! Here!
Where can you always find a fast and friendly drive-thru crew? Did somebody say McDonald's?
It's an incredible sight here at Richmond as we get set to go racing. Let's take a look at our Walmart EverStart grid. Rusty Wallace has his fourth pole of 1998. Ken Schrader is alongside in the front row. Take a look at the starting lineup, as in just one more lap, we will be set for racing. Now, we do indeed have many races to go here in the 1998 season, but the point was made during NASCAR today that especially this time of year, every single position on the racetrack is important.
Every point counts. The first 5 positions, 5 points difference. The next 5, 4 points. And the remainder of the field, just 3 points separate. So you can go out and pick up 10 points from 20th to 30th, or from 30th to 20th. That's 30 points.
As we look back through the starting field, you can see just how close the times were, and that's normally the way it is on a short track. Just a fraction of a second really separated first and last.
Jimmy Spencer will drop to the rear of the field for the start of the race because he crashed during happy hour. And the 13 car of Dennis Setzer will also go to the rear because both of those drivers are going to start this race in backup cars.
Ricky Rudd celebrating his birthday today. Mike Skinner was the fastest qualifier second round.
In fact, he was the only qualifier in second round to make the field, and Mike Skinner qualified good enough for the 26th starting position. As we get back here toward the end of the field now, we see that Dale Earnhardt and Brett Bodine will start from row number 17, so Earnhardt has a lot of positions to make up. Kenny Irwin Jr. made his debut in Winston Cup competition here a year ago, starting on the outside of the front row. This year, he starts back in the 18th row, and now you're taking a look at the provisional starters for tonight's race.
And Dick Trickle was the fastest man in happy hour here this afternoon, even though he's starting back at the back of the pack.
Darrell Waltrip takes the previous champions provisional and starts back in the 43rd position. There are the 4 drivers who were unable to make the field. Buckshot Jones, Gary Bradbury, also
This is Kenny Irwin on board camera, Rick Mast on board camera, Kenny Wallace on board. Mark Martin will be riding along with him. Bobby Labonte, the food line on board. Sterling Marlin, the Coors Light, and Rusty Wallace, our pole sitter, will be having an onboard camera.
Here we go. The pace car pulls down into the pit area, and the green flag waves. The race is underway. Jackrabbit, Rusty Wallace got out to the lead, has now led 17 of the last 20 races here at Richmond. The battle is for second between Burton and Schrader.
And they've run side by side for a lap. Burton in the 99 car just has not been able to get by the 33 of Schrader. They get awfully close there as Sterling Marlin. He don't know which one to follow.
And that's exactly what Ned and I were talking about just a couple of minutes ago. You can race at this racetrack side by side as Schrader and Burton are proving.
And the 10 car is off the pace. Ricky Rudd dropping to the back of the field now. And that car certainly not up to full song as he goes down the backstretch. Big action in the pack, though. Wally Dallenbach, Derek Cope.
That's Todd Bodine in the 91 car. His first ride in. Oh, he just turns left and goes under. Tries to get under Derek Cope.
And this battle for second still rages on as Burton is to the inside and Schrader the outside. And a bird's eye view from Sterling Marlin.
And they've been that way for 4 laps now.
John, what's wrong with Ricky Rudd?
Bob, as unbelievable as it sounds, he has no brakes. He goes to hit the brake pedal, and it will not pump up. It goes all the way to the floorboard, so we expect him to get onto pit road. They're going to have some crewmen down a few pit stalls from here to try and grab onto the car to stop it, and Rudd finally makes his way onto pit road.
We've got a great 4-car battle here as Jeff Gordon now begins to rattle the cage and make a little bit of noise. He moves past Sterling Marlin and goes into 4 spot, but Marlin is not, he does give up the position. Meanwhile, up ahead, it is still a great battle for second.
To John Andretti, the STP Pontiac, trying to take a look on the inside of Sterling, as Jeff Burton still will just not give it up. Oh, some contact between the two as Burton came off the second corner. He touches the back of the 33 car. Both cars wiggle, but able to continue.
Now we look back from Sterling Marlin to John Andretti. Also back there is Bobby Hamilton, Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, and Mark Martin.
And Ricky Rudd has made his way on to pit road.
So the brake problem that John told us about will hopefully be corrected by the Rudd team as they push the car behind the wall. We're having difficulty even getting it stopped, rolling it behind the wall.
Andretti drives on the inside of Sterling Marlin. Oh, contact. We saw the tire smoke puff with the right front tire on Andretti's car. Made contact with sheet metal on Sterling Marlin's. That's Andretti in the 43, Sterling in the 40. Different paint job for Sterling this week.
There are a lot of new paint jobs that you'll be seeing throughout the evening. Andretti gets that spot. Meanwhile, Ken Schrader hangs on to second, but still Jeff Burton is right there for the challenge. While all this is happening, you see from the onboard camera how far Rusty Wallace is ahead. It is 1 1/4 seconds between the leader, Rusty Wallace, and this battle for second.
Yeah, he loves to look in his rearview mirror and see those guys back there racing side by side, bumper to bumper, because he knows he can pull away.
With an update on Ricky Rudd.
Ricky Rudd behind the wall. The crew going to work under the left rear of the car, telling them to get the car up on the jack so they get a jack stand underneath and a crewman can go in. What's happening is a brake line apparently has come loose on the left rear, so when he hits the brake pedal, it squirts the brake fluid out of the left rear. So that's why Ricky Rudd hasn't got any brakes. They're going to look underneath it now to see if they need a flashlight now because it's very dark underneath the car. They're looking, trying to figure out if it's just something they can tighten and can fix very quickly and get back. Now they need a new brake line, apparently.
And John Andretti's got something dragging already.
It's something out of someone else's car, it looks like. Is that a grill from another car?
Might be from the 40 car. He and Sterling Marlin had made some contact there a little bit ago.
And Marlin has lost a position as Bobby Hamilton has come on to take 6th. John Andretti is running in 5th, as your scoreboard shows you. Well, Derek Cope has dropped back. He's back in the 40th position. He started up in the 8th spot, and it has been a steady backward slide for Derek Cope.
Apparently that car just not handling it all, or it's say the plug wire is loose maybe.
Yep.
Okay, well that's too bad, because he did have such a great qualifying run, and really that team had their hopes high for tonight.
Well, with Burton in 2nd, this becomes the race for 3rd spot, and Jeff Gordon, it appears, will take it from Ken Schrader.
Oh, he might have as much trouble as Jeff Burton. No, he's not going to have too much trouble as he.
And here's trouble on the front straightaway. It looks like maybe, is that Rick Mass? Rick Mass.
Yes. A big puff of smoke right here at the starting line, and look at the car fill up with smoke.
And the caution flag is out. And we see the fire underneath the car as some of that oil is getting on the exhaust. And Rick, there's a fire under your feet there, bud. If I was you, I'd be stopping.
And look at all the smoke that is in the air. John Kernan.
Well, we're being told from the crew down here in the pits is that Rick Masters broken an oil line, and the oil coming pouring out and then getting on the header pipes, and that's what started the fire. So a broken oil line for Rick Mast as he comes down pit road, smoke boiling out of that race car. He'll pull it behind the wall too, and they'll try and get it repaired.
And that may mean a lengthy cleanup here at Richmond as he went all the way around the racetrack. You can see it there. They'll have to bring out the oil dry and get it up off of the racing surface before we can go back to green flag competition. The first caution is out. 17 laps have been completed here at Richmond International Raceway, and Rusty Wallace is leading over Burton, Gordon, Schrader, and Andretti.
Good morning, Hampton Roads. Get your day started with fresh brewed coffee from Century Food Mart. Century makes it easy to get in, get what you want, and get going.
Get a deal on your favorite beer at Century, including Coors, Bud, Miller, and Ice House. 12 packs of 12-ounce cans, only $7.79.
Thanks for making Century Food Mart your one stop for food, fuel, and drinks. Century.
Why is everybody buying their car audio and security at Discount Auto Sound? AM/FM high-power CD player, $169.95. 200-watt MTX, 250-amp, 3-year warranty, $169.95. MTX woofers, T3000 series, buy one, get one free. Fiber complete car security system with remote start, $299.95. Add a TV to your minivan starting at $999 installed. Top brands, newest technology, all in stock. MECP certified installation staff and lifetime installation guarantee. Discount Auto Sound, 3 locations. Buy with a winner's buy.
The Colts and the Patriots on ESPN Sunday Night Football. Peyton Manning against Drew Bledsoe.
Mr. Peyton Manning impresses me. He comes from a great lineage of quarterbacking talent.
What is he, a racehorse? Lineage? Who uses the word lineage?
His father was a quarterback.
Ah, put a sock in it. My father was a terrific dancer.
What's your point?
Can I dance?
What? Can I dance? With who?
ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins with NFL primetime at 7:30.
To thank the greatest fans in sports and to close its 50th anniversary season, NASCAR offers you a chance to win a fantasy trip to the Napa 500 in November. On September 27th, during ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series race for Martinsville, we will announce a special phone number. When you call that number, you will be given 4 NASCAR-related questions. Answer them correctly, and you could be one of 10 fans to win this exclusive behind-the-scenes experience. Check out NASCAR Online and NASCAR Winston Cup Scene for details and a sneak preview of the questions.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the XI NASCAR Select Batteries 400 from Richmond being brought to you by ESPN Video. Get your officially licensed NASCAR videos from ESPN Video. By Valvoline, you can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. By the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America, AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by McDonald's. Starting Wednesday, get back with Big Mac at participating McDonald's and get something groovy every time. We are under caution here in Richmond. It came out on lap 17.
And Rick Mast goes down and he blows an oil line off the car. The oil blows on the exhaust system and creates a tremendous smoke stream. Right along with Rick Mast, listen to his camera, listen to his engine.
Oh, once you see that smoke coming up inside, of course he gets off of the gas and gets it down out of the racing groove just as quickly as possible.
So it's obvious the engine was still running fine, but just blew an oil line off. And we see Rick sitting in the car waiting for the crew to find the line that blew off, repair it.
So he is the second car that has gone behind the wall here in the first 20 laps. For an update on Derek Cope, here's Bill Weber.
Well, Derek Cope has been on pit road twice already and is expected to make a third visit. They were hoping that a plug wire had come off. That would account for him going from 8th, where he qualified, to the rear of the field. They took out the heat shields. They checked the plug wires. They were all attached. They believe the third cylinder on the right side has gone bad. So Derek will come back down pit road. They'll try and do some work underneath the hood, then send him back out in the gum-out Pontiac. Here's John Kernan.
Rick Mast crew pushing him backwards. He's going to come back out from behind the wall. What they think the problem was, and now Ricky Rudd also will be coming out, so they apparently have his brake line problem finished, but they tightened up a loose oil fitting. They're hoping that that was the only problem with Rick Mast's car. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
And John Andretti just exiting the pit road. They pulled away what was either a brake duct or part of a crush panel off the Sterling Marlin car. He came in, took an opportunity to get to the debris from the back bumper, put 4 tires, and fill it up with fuel. Let's check back in the Derek Cope pit with Bill.
Cope has come back to pit road. They have raised the hood. They are working underneath it on the third cylinder on the right side. They're going to try and put the hood pins back in. They have not lost a lap yet. Cope refires. 2,700 RPM down pit road, and it looks like Hope beat the pace car out and will not lose a lap.
Just barely, but he does indeed stay on the lead lap. We'll take a break and be back with more live coverage from Richmond International Raceway.
You're born, you die. In between, you work on cars. We should all be so lucky. Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of the special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
When I first got into my Tiburon, it absolutely changed what I thought about Hyundai. It's very exciting to drive it. It looks very sharp. It just reminds me of more action and adventure. You know, my boss saw it and he kind of looked at it like, how can you afford to pay for that car? Just taking off on the road with the windows down, people will look over like, hey, what kind of car is that? I'm proud of it. If you're in the market to buy a car, you should go in and test drive it.
This is no ordinary leather jacket. Because when you put it on, you're not just saying you're a NASCAR fan. You're saying you care about kids. Buy an EX-side NASCAR Select battery in 1998
and get the special 50th anniversary NASCAR jacket for just $150.
And on behalf of NASCAR fans everywhere, Exide will donate all profits to Give Kids the World Foundation.
The special edition 50th anniversary NASCAR jacket. Look for details wherever Exide NASCAR Select is sold.
Nice jacket.
Thanks.
It's a beautiful sight on a gorgeous night in Richmond as ESPN presents this NASCAR Winston Cup race, and throughout the evening the overhead shots will come to you courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. We are about a half a lap away from the resumption of this race. It was brought out because of Rick Mast's loose oil line, which dumped a little bit of oil on the racetrack, but the track crew has gotten it cleaned up, and we're about ready to go back to racing. Derek Cope has made numerous pit stops. He's in once again, but he has remained on the lead lap.
see Ricky Rudd is back out on the racetrack.
Rudd is 15 laps down. Rick Mast is 5 laps down. And the winningest driver here at Richmond since the reconfiguration of the track, since it was linked to the 3/4 of a mile, Rusty Wallace is still leading.
Ooh, Jeff Burton, I believe, got into the wall coming off of turn 2. And Jeff Gordon got into the back of him, and Burton had to slow down and get his car back under control.
Gordon took the 3rd spot, or the 2nd spot away, rather, from Burton.
Hey, Ricky Rudd working hard on Rusty Wallace, trying to get back in front. Rudd is several laps down, 15 laps down.
Yeah, he'd like to get one of those back, and Rusty wouldn't hurt him to let him go ahead. Ricky has on fresher tires than does Rusty right now, so.
And that's exactly what Rusty Wallace does. Backs off, lets him go.
Remember, Todd Bodine is driving the 91 tonight. He just passed Kyle Petty, and that is for the
10th position.
Okay.
Now we see Bobby Labonte, the food line on board, looks back at Todd Bodine. Oh, there he's going by Mark Martin. Is Bobby Labonte.
To the inside of Dale Jarrett as they come off corner number 4.
They ran side by side for about 3 or 4 laps when Ken Schrader and Jeff Burton were running side by side early in the race. Now Bobby's going to try it again.
Hardy's field summary shows you the manufacturer's battle, which is being led right now by Chevy. There's a leaderboard for Ford. They have 4 cars in the top 10 as Jeff Burton retakes the 2nd position from Jeff Gordon. And Chevy has 5 cars in the top 10.
Bobby Labonte trying to feel out that top groove. See if that's a route he'd like to take.
Trying to battle back from the disappointment last Sunday at Darlington that's dropped him 199 points behind Jeff Gordon. And we look back from Mark Martin to Todd Bodine in the 91 car.
Marlin getting a challenge from Dale Jarrett down in 1. He's alongside. Bad news for Sterling. I think a lot of these cars are going to get by. Oh, but DJ goes in the corner a little too hard. Drifts up the hill. Leaves that opening for Bobby Labonte.
Looks like he gained a spot. Maybe going to lose one.
Oh, he got a crash. Looks like Dale Earnhardt's involved.
Joe Nemechek.
Robert Presley.
Dale Earnhardt's car is blazing, leaving a trail of flames.
That must be the fuel pump that was knocked off the car.
So the 5-time winner here at Richmond, Dale Earnhardt, has a problem. So does Joe Nemechek. That car severely damaged, at least on the right side.
Yeah, Joe doesn't realize how severe that damage is, but he's going to try to get back to the pits.
And Robert Presley also has some major damage.
Say, all 3 of those cars are torn up severely. See Presley's car pancake. There we see Presley right in the middle of the corner. He goes up, and something happens to the right front, like he blows the right front tire, and along comes Earnhardt and Nemechek with just no place to go. Victim of circumstances.
They had their full acceleration coming off of turn number 2, and when Presley had his problem up there, they were just on top of him.
That's what we saw just a moment ago from our turn 3 camera. And look at the fire in Earnhardt's car when he knocked that fuel pump off. Wow.
This is only a 3/4 mile racetrack, but the 2 cars that crashed earlier today, Dennis Setzer and Jimmy Spencer, both had to be removed from the racetrack on a rollback, indicating the severity of the damage that the cars can suffer here in an accident. And there is the latest victim, one of the latest victims, Dale Earnhardt with a lot of smoke rising from that area over near turn number 3.
You know, we always continue to talk about qualifying and how you can qualify in the back and work your way up to the front because you can pass on this racetrack. But we always talk about what a disadvantage that qualifying poorly is. There's a classic example because the more cars you're behind, the more chance you are to become involved in an accident.
Very good point.
Well, there's a Jasper car right on the outside, right in front of Kenny Irwin, and just the right front brakes, the tire goes flat or something breaks on the right front, the car just veered into the outside retaining wall.
Sterling Marlin is in, Jerry.
And they have already changed right side tires on Sterling Marlin's car. Tony Glover making the call to bring him in. They clean a lot of debris off the windshield. Out and away, pretty good pit stop of less than 19 seconds for Sterling Marlin under the caution.
Now we keep talking about these cars able to pass. We'll find out if they can or not because these are some pretty good race cars that are making pit stops and losing that track position.
And those that were at the middle or the back of the pack coming in for pit stops, they had nothing really to lose by coming in and getting some fresh tires on. But those running up front remain out there, including Wallace and Burton and Gordon, Schrader, and Bobby Hamilton running in the 5th position. We'll have more live coverage of the Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400 in just a moment from Richmond International Raceway.
Hey, you want to win some cool stuff? A Chevy Monte Carlo, trips, a Pepsi racing jacket. It's the Pepsi Triple Challenge. For a chance to win, guess the driver who leads the most laps after all 3 races and the number of laps led. Let's review. Guess the driver who leads the most laps after all 3 races. The winner by mail, the internet, or the NCI toll-free number.
Hey, Bob, can I win that Monte Carlo?
Right, 24, man, like you need a ride. So, go for it, fans. This one's for us.
It's time for another Pepsi Triple Challenge update. Last Sunday at the Pepsi Southern 500 in Darlington, Jeff Burton had the dominant car most of the day, leading 273 of the 367 laps. Like Michigan, though, Jeff Gordon proved you don't have to lead the most laps to win, as $1 Million Jeff led 64 of the circuits. So, after 2 Pepsi Triple Challenge races, Jeff Burton and Ernie Irvin are 1-2.
Some people have shrinks. Some people have their garage.
Introducing the Midas battery. Now for just $49.99 with rebate. Batteries, brand new from Midas.
In Murray, Utah, a lot of folks like to work on their cars themselves, and they come to AutoZone because they know they'll find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and helpful people like Rick Perry. Now, Rick's been around cars all his life, so he knows a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems. And whether it's selling new parts or testing old ones, he's always glad to help. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Here at Richmond in 1976, a standing room only crowd saw Dave Marcus beat Richard Petty for his 2nd career Winston Cup victory. The win is one of 5 for Marcus in a 30-year career, a career that includes over 960 Winston Cup starts. His 3 decades of dedication to Winston Cup racing have put Dave Marcus among the legends of the sport. NASCAR's 50th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Coca-Cola Classic, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Dave Marcus' most recent victory was on this track in February of 1982, a race that we televised here on ESPN. He started 22nd tonight. A great qualifying effort yesterday, and he's running 21st right now. Under caution for the 2nd time this evening, we had a major accident over on the backstretch, lap 35.
Robert Preston, we see something happen to the right front. Nemechek, Dale Earnhardt comes along with no place to go, and bam, a lot of damage to 3 good race cars.
They brought out the rollback for Robert Presley's car. Heavy damaged on the right side of it. Let's go down to John Kernan, who's with Joe Nemechek.
Joe Nemechek's crew has that big hammer, is out trying to beat out the sheet metal damage. Joe, what happened?
I'm not real sure. You know, all of a sudden Robert Presley's car's bounced off the wall and just shot right in front of us. Had nowhere to go, and you know, collected me, and then Dale got into me, and it's just a big wreck. You know, it's kind of real a shame for. I feel sorry for this whole Bell South crew. We're trying to rebound. You know, we had some pretty tough races here in the last couple weeks, and we had a heck of a car tonight. I mean, we were going to the front. I don't know what else to say. It's just a shame. I mean, the car's tore up really bad. I'm sure we'll get it fixed to get out and ride around, make a few laps, and maybe get a few points. But I tell you what, they had a tough race here last night, and I hope it's not going to be the same tonight. But we'll be all right.
And the good news is Joe is okay. His teammate Sterling Marlin, Dr. Jerry Punch, has a report on him.
The reason for Sterling Marlin's pit stop, take a look at the front of his Chevrolet. Now, when he and John Andretti got together in the early laps, you saw Andretti was actually carrying the front grille section or screen from the nose of Sterling Marlin's Chevy Monte Carlo. And without that front screen in place, they lost a lot of downforce on the front of the car. Without the downforce, the car was just so tight, Sterling couldn't drive it. They opted to come on down pit road, make a chassis adjustment, put 4 tires in it, and try to compensate for that loss of that front screen and downforce.
So Sterling Marlin also with some problems here in the early going of this race. 42 laps currently in the books of the 400 that will be run here tonight. So far, Rusty Wallace has led all the way, and we have currently had 2 caution periods that have totaled at the moment 14 laps. Back in a moment.
NASCAR and Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse both started from humble beginnings. But you made us bigger. You made us better. You made us faster. So consider this a quick thanks. Sure beats the heck out of a thank you card. Lowe's, the official home improvement warehouse of NASCAR and you.
You know, some people think the best thing about ESPN magazine is the writing. Other people say it's the great photography. And some people think it's the design. But if you ask me, the best thing about ESPN magazine is clearly the large format. These subscription cards, however, are driving me crazy.
You look down at the nearly 100,000 people that have gathered here tonight. Every seat is sold for the Winston Cup race. Overhead shots from the Pennzoil Copter Cam. And ESPN will present Sunday Night Football at 8:15 tomorrow night from Foxborough Stadium as the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning take on the New England Patriots. Then on Monday night on ABC Sports, it's Monday Night Football at its new time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Don't miss it when San Francisco tackles Washington. ESPN and ABC, the exclusive home of the NFL in prime time. Here's John Kernan.
Dale Earnhardt's crew furiously working on his car at what's left of the right front of it. Dale, you're all right. You said it was just only like going over a speed bump?
Yeah, it really wasn't a hard lick or anything. It just hit the right front, knocked all the A-frame back in, and popped the fuel line fitting off, and that's where the big fire was. But it just bent the bottom A-frame real bad up under the car. We can fix that A-frame right quick. That's really basically all that's wrong with the chassis, enough to go back and race it.
That's Dale Earnhardt. They hope to bend the A-frame back out and brace in the right front and get back out there and at least pile up a few points. But right now it looks like they've got a lot of work to do.
Five-time winner here at Richmond, and didn't his son put on quite a show last night during the Busch Series race?
Tell you what, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s put on several shows this year in the NASCAR Busch Series, and last night was just a continuation. If you missed the race, 250 laps, Earnhardt led about 225 of them, Earnhardt Jr., and went on to the victory.
He was awesome. You saw it here on ESPN last evening, and in case you were not able to be with us, we'll take you back and show you some highlights.
Never seen the car 23 abreast. Brad Nossinger, the silver car, gets out of shape. The guy third place in the points, Mike McLaughlin, runs in the back of 3, not 1, but 3 cars. On lap 81, huge crash. Hermie Sadler in the back of both of the Grum boys.
And on lap 104, Mark Martin, trying to move through traffic, was tapped by Ed Barrier and hard into the outside wall. Hey, Ed, what's the deal? Dale Earnhardt Jr., his 6th win of 1998 in the Busch Series, and congratulations to that young man. And now Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a 140-point advantage on Matt Kenseth in the run for the championship in that series, with McLaughlin as a result of his crash falling 276 behind, and the defending two-time champion Randy LaJoie 6th in the point standings. All right, the field comes down now, and when it crosses the line, it will get the 1-to-go signal.
We were following Derek Cope a little bit earlier, Bob, making pit stops during the earlier caution. He has made pit stop again here, and we understand that they've replaced a spark plug, a couple of new tires on it, and they think that all of his problems are okay. Now let's go to the pits and Jerry Punch.
And there's a spirit of cooperation here in NASCAR Winston Cup Racing. A moment ago, Ricky Rudd's crew asked the crew of Rusty Wallace, how about working with us on the restart, you know? And Rusty said, okay, as long as you don't hold me up, I'll probably let you by it. And if you can't get by and the caution comes out, I'll slow down and let you get your lap back. Hey, we're all gentlemen out here.
Well, he is 15 laps down, so 1 lap isn't going to hurt either way.
No, it certainly won't hurt Rusty at this point to do that.
Kevin LePage has got a great run going. Kevin LePage qualified, started 38th, took a provisional, and has now worked his way up to the 20th position.
Green flag waves again. Rusty Wallace will get out ahead of Ricky Rudd, at least for the moment. Wallace has led nearly a 1/4 of all the fall race laps on the 3/4 mile track.
Rick Mast, evidently, they tightened up the oil line fit, and it worked because no smoke.
Rick Mast is 5 laps down.
And John Kernan has an update on Robert Presley's condition.
Robert is being checked out in the infield medical center right now. However, they are going to transport him to Memorial Regional Medical Center here locally because Robert is complaining of pain in his right shoulder. Talked to one of the crew members. They said they really haven't had a chance to talk to Robert about what might have happened to the car, but the spotter said it looked as if they might have blown a right front tire. Robert is going to be loaded onto an ambulance now, and he'll be taken to a local hospital. Once again, he's all right, walked into the infield care center under his own power. However, he's going into the ambulance now, and they will take him there to check out that right shoulder where it is very, very sore. They don't know if it's just a deep bruise or anything else. They want to be positive, so they're going to take him to the hospital for x-rays.
Battle for 6th position here as Bobby Labonte has it and Dale Jarrett wants it.
Yeah, Bobby just took it away from Dale Jarrett. This is the last lap. They were racing pretty hard before the caution came out. Now Bobby has the position.
And Todd Bodine, once again, a great run in that 91 car. He closed in on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett. Mark Martin is seen behind him.
Todd has been able to get around Mark Martin. He was behind him on the restart, but now he's up there, has passed Mark Martin.
And has gained 10 positions. Here's a big cluster of cars. That's Jimmy Spencer, who started again the race from the backup car after having crashed during happy hour. We're looking ahead to Dave Marcus there on the right, and we're on board with Kenny Irwin.
And we see Mark Martin, and check it out, Ted Musgrave in the Caterpillar Chevrolet goes by Mark Martin and puts him up to the 9th spot.
Todd Bodine moved around Dale Jarrett and has taken over the 7th spot.
Petty right behind Mark Martin. He's their 11th place car.
5-car battle here as Mark Martin looks to the outside. Ted Musgrave now to the inside, and it looks like we'll take the spot away from Ted.
That camera looked like Mark Martin spun out when he came off that corner.
Well, he just made an abrupt left turn and had plenty of speed and moved right on around.
And Steve Grissom is another guy who's got a good run going.
Yes, he has. Steve Grissom qualified, I think, back in the 24th spot. Yes. And that is right now battle for about the 12th spot, the 13th.
And John Andretti is also coming up through the field. He made a pit stop, remember, after he latched on to Sterling Marlin's front grille. He had to come in to get it removed, and he is coming back up through the traffic. He's up to 21st.
It's Bill Elliott, the car on the inside of Wally Dallenbach. That different paint job. Bob talked about we're seeing some different paint jobs. That's the Big Mac. Come back to Big Mac. And Chad Little on the inside of Ernie Irvin as they... Oh, boys. Easy now, boys.
They are racing hard here at 57 laps.
And here's Kevin LePage. We talked about him just a moment ago. He's on the inside of Ernie Irvin. That's a battle for the 18th spot. All the way from 38. Well, there he goes by the 50 car as well. And John Andretti. No, he stuck a nose in there.
And here's another pack that's all bunched up behind them. Great racing going on back from about 11th through 25th or something like that.
John Andretti with those pressure tires. There's Mike Skinner, and Sterling Marlin also made a pit stop a moment ago. We saw that. He's trying to work his way back.
Outside.
Kenny Irwin's radio we're listening to. As Kenny tries to drive under Dallenbach, could not quite get that run. Here's Dick Trickle.
He's right in the thick of that battle.
Dick Trickle, this is Tommy Baldwin, his crew chief. This is his last race with Trickle.
Still there.
Hardy's field summary this time shows you the points change, if there are any. Right now, everybody's staying in the position that he began the race in.
Now, that's a regular mess right there.
Yes, it is. Boy, that's something could happen at any moment.
Jeremy Mayfield, the 12 car, working his way in the middle of this mess, and I don't know what else to call it. It's been a kind of exciting mess, though, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it's good racing. Steve Park on the outside of Jimmy Spencer.
See Jeff Green in there. He's also a car that made a pit stop.
So, of course, did Terry Cope. Made several pit stops. And Jeremy Mayfield, who certainly did not have a good qualifying effort, had to start in the back of the pack, and he's moved up to 30th.
Well, we talked at the top of the show about that side-by-side racing, high or low. You can do it as Bobby Hamilton makes the pass on Ken Schrader. Takes over fourth.
And Kenny Irwin battling with Mike Skinner.
This is for 21st.
Well, you have to compliment Mike Skinner on his second round qualifying effort. It was the 26th fastest, and it came in the heat of the day, unlike the first round.
Yeah, that was a very impressive run. I didn't think anyone would be able to break into the field with the second round qualifying here today, but Mike Skinner did it.
Kenny Irwin, remember last year, made his debut in this race, started second and finished in 8th spot. 11 times this year he has been the highest finishing rookie as he goes for Winston Cup Rookie of the Year honors.
Starting 36th place, running 21st here now.
Roll it in the corner, save your brakes.
Good advice.
Marlin and
Ernie Irvin. Marlin, remember, made a pit stop.
We talked about saving the brakes. You see at the left front, both those cars, when they drove off in the corner, both the rotors on the left front, we can see cherry red. Just like the right front we saw on Ernie Irvin's car, the rotor cherry red. That's what they're talking about. You got to save the brakes.
They continue to battle side by side. A little paint trading there off of corner 4.
Now that paint don't match.
No, that's right.
Sure. A little bit of a clash there.
Up Sterling had a run, but Ernie came back strong on the outside. And
isn't it amazing how many times this year that we're seeing Ernie Irvin and Kenny Irwin racing together?
Sure is. And it's almost a tongue twister to try to say the two names together.
3:15.
Running the track in 23.15 seconds.
And you know, as running side by side, they still have caught John Andretti in this group in front of them.
John running down the inside. He can't go anywhere there.
I see why they caught him, because right now we've got a couple of cars. Jerry Nadeau in the car on the outside, a different paint job, in the Cartoon Network car, and Chad Little side by side. And both Ernie and Kenny Irwin was able to get by Sterling Marlin.
The man on the move is Bobby Hamilton. He's in fourth, looking for third. Jeff Gordon has that spot right now, and Bobby Hamilton is very fast at the moment.
Bobby Hamilton in the 4-car winner at Martinsville back in the spring.
He was the fastest traveler that last lap at 118.489, just a tick of the watch faster than the guy running right ahead of him, Jeff Gordon. That's where third and fourth are, compared to Rusty Wallace, who has an absolutely incredible record in the last 10 races here at Richmond. In all of these categories, Rusty Wallace leads all other drivers, wins, top 10s, races led, laps led, and average finish. He has led all 72 laps so far here at Richmond International Raceway in the Excite NASCAR Select Batteries 400. Right now it's Burton, Gordon, Hamilton, and Schrader, the top 5.
The taste of Budweiser is unique. Let me pour one. Pouring Budweiser down the middle of the glass releases the CO2, enabling us to smell the mild aroma of the hops. The initial taste impression of Budweiser should be a delicate sweetness at the tip of the tongue. And then as you drink, the middle of the tongue should have a mild bitterness. And then as you finish the swallow, there should be absolutely no aftertaste. A clean, crisp, refreshing end. That is the taste of Budweiser. I love beer.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of high-performance additives and cleaners. A complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetic molecules that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits.
Fuel and air mixture, a go.
So your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have ignition.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road.
Laguna Seca Raceway. If the corkscrew doesn't break you, the straightaways are gonna blow you away. The Honda Grand Prix of Monterey, featuring the Texaco Haviland 300. Tomorrow at 3 on ESPN.
Are you still researching the effects of instant replay?
Yeah, we're still analyzing what happened with the Cower incident. What we can't figure out is what happened in the longest yard.
Yeah, you got to throw the flag there.
NFL Countdown, Sundays at 11, Mondays at 6:30 on ESPN.
We're live at Richmond International Raceway tonight for the Excite NASCAR Select Batteries 400. Dale Earnhardt, a 5-time winner here at this racetrack. He won this event in 87 and 90, in trouble early tonight.
Yep. Robert Presley came off the corner, lost the right front tire, collected Earnhardt and Joe Nemechek. But Nemechek and Earnhardt are okay. Presley was complaining of his shoulder pain. Here's our leader, Rusty Wallace, as he looks back at a closing Jeff Burton.
He's closed it down to 3/4 of a second.
And then running in third position is Bobby Hamilton, who was able to take third away from Jeff Gordon. They run about 2.5 seconds behind this duo.
Actually, during the commercial break, Gordon passed Bobby Hamilton back, and Hamilton passed him back. So, folks, sorry you missed it, but that's what happened.
Indeed, that lead is shrinking for Rusty.
Yeah, it was 64 hundredths that last time, so we cut it down to a tenth of a second there in the last lap.
We'll check the interval for you as we come down to complete lap number 82.
Now we see close just a little bit closer, 0.56, just over a half second behind. And we'll see that Bobby Hamilton had the fastest lap that time. Jeff Gordon the second fastest, and Jeff Burton was the third fastest time.
And we'll do it again to see if the interval changed and who was fastest again.
Well, that time it stayed about the same. He lost a little bit of ground, lost 300. And once again, Hamilton, the fastest car.
Hamilton is pulling away from Jeff Gordon.
Another new paint scheme on Johnny Benson's number 26, advertising the Betty Crocker line of foods.
They didn't come with black on the side. He was able to get that earlier on in the race, folks.
That's right. Looks like a streak of chocolate down the side of the car. And Jimmy Spencer is also coming up through the field.
He's in 24th position. He tries to go by Benson, take over 23rd.
Boy, he just absolutely destroyed his car in happy hour. I mean, it was a mess.
And just about 2 minutes before happy hour was going to be over. It was too bad.
Happened over in turn number 2, but Jimmy climbed out of the car okay, and they rolled the back out car out. Bill Weber has an update on Derek Cope.
Well, this team had a great qualifying run, and they certainly did a great job on Cope's engine early in this race. They thought maybe a plug wire had come off. They checked that wasn't a problem. They ended up changing a spark plug, as Ned told you a few laps ago. They used several laps to do it. They never lost a lap. Then they brought him back in under the same caution, changed right side tires and put fuel on, and sent him back out. So it was a disappointing start for them, but they certainly have battled back here.
And Mark Martin just took the 6th position away from Bobby Labonte.
Mark's car seems to be maybe not slowing down as much as others. He was struggling there for a little while, but now he has picked up. He passed Dale Jarrett, Todd Bodine, and also now just passed Bobby Labonte.
Mark Martin has had to change his line here tonight to get this car around the racetrack. You would think that Mark would want to be on the bottom of the racetrack. I know he would be, but you see how high he's going around the corner? He's just adjusted because that's where his car right now wants to be to get around the racetrack. And there we see how far it is up to the leader, Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin. It's about 6.5 seconds.
And the interval down to just a third of a second that last lap before they encounter the traffic in the form of Dave Marcus. And look at Todd Bodine. Boy, he is a man on a mission.
Up to 7th position.
Giving that car a good ride. They have a potential sponsor that was here, we understand, this weekend for that car. That'd be great to see a sponsor go on it. So they wanted to make a good run here, and they're doing so.
He's gained 11 positions since the start of the race.
Right, Bobby's Interstate Batteries Pontiac, Bobby Labonte's car has gone away a little bit here now.
Look at this. Jeff Burton has caught Rusty Wallace, but can he make the move?
Well, we have an indication now of which cars are better on long runs, and it looks like Jeff Burton and Bobby Hamilton might be a little bit better because we've run more than 90 laps.
You see that brake rotor on Jeff Burton's car? Turn that cherry red when he goes down in the corner. And we see Bobby Hamilton back there. He's been able to get by Jeff Gordon. He's closing in on this lead twosome.
He's only about 3/4 of a second behind Rusty.
Well, we've got cameras in both these front cars looking at each other. Rusty sliding up the hill like Mark Martin. And Jeff Burton's going to try it on the outside. Wow.
I think Rusty looked like he might be just going to give him that outside. Said, hey, you can pass me out there. You go ahead. I'm going to stick down here on this inside. And probably slow their speeds down when they're running side by side.
And look at the fastest. Mark Martin was the quickest that last lap. Bobby Hamilton second and Gordon third. So Bobby Hamilton continues to be one of the fastest cars on the track.
And Jeff Burton is now the leader of the race. The Exide Batteries Ford is leading the Exide Batteries 400. They love it when a plan comes together.
Rusty led 93 laps, the first 93, and now Jeff has taken over. Jeff Burton has taken over the top spot. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon runs back in the 4th position.
Looks like all the cars are drifting up the hill now, moving up the racetrack just a little bit. Trying to get the racetrack to adjust their cars.
Burton moving through traffic now, putting a lap on the number 11 car of Brett Bodine, who is running in 36th position. And the next one they will come up to lap would be Jeremy Mayfield. Good competition all night long since the drop of the green flag. Almost a fourth of the way through this event already here in Richmond. And Jeff Burton and Rusty Wallace work the traffic along with Bobby Hamilton. Rejoin us for more of the Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400 in a moment.
Is there anything else, an only real thing to do? Anything else I need except cold and you? No, there's nothing else that'll do besides Coca-Cola. There's only you. Come on, give me a Coke, baby. Give me some of that real thing.
Harvey?
What do you want?
We've got to talk. These kids you're mixed up with don't know right from wrong.
They're my friends.
People who don't dial 1-800-COLLECT are nobody's friends. 1-800-COLLECT is 10 cents a minute every evening.
Really?
This isn't a game, kid. You could be saving your parents' money.
Bobby, with us or him?
You made the right choice, son. 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
Who's that, Grandma?
That would have been your great-uncle Floyd. About 65 years ago, he was playing hide-and-seek with his friends. And they never found him.
If you're gonna play to win,
Nobody found me.
play to win. If you're gonna have roast beef, have roast beef. Hardee's tender roast beef, specially seasoned, oven roasted, fresh sliced to order.
You gonna go? Go all out.
It is designed for power, engineered for the corners, and made to bring you to your feet. This is the White Track Grand Prix, selected the official pace car for NASCAR's 50th anniversary season. Whiter is better.
We have got some great racing going on here at Richmond. As you can see, Rusty Wallace has taken the lead. He has lapped his teammate Jeremy Mayfield. The 99 of Jeff Burton now second, but Bobby Hamilton and Jeff Gordon are right there along with Ken Schrader. And now Hamilton will go to second.
And Jeff Burton has still not been able to get around the 12 car. Now he might do it on the inside.
You see Hamilton's car wiggle when Jeff Burton came down. I don't think he touched him. I just think when he moved down, he took the air off the spoiler, and it got the 4 car loose. Even at a 3/4 mile like Richmond International Raceway, you can't get that car in front of you loose.
There is Kenny Schrader, who started on the outside of the front row, now running 5th.
He had dropped back a little bit, Bob, but he's coming back. That old Chevrolet is on the move now. It seems to work pretty good on the old tires. Maybe doesn't slow down as much as some of the others. Now, he didn't know whether to follow Mayfield or Gordon. I believe you better follow Gordon, though. Whoa!
I think I'll follow Gordon. Whoa!
He might have hurt me if he was about to cut too quick.
Exactly. He turned that steering wheel, and the back end didn't want to go.
Boy, Rick Mast is running well after he cut the oil line, had to go into the pits for several laps for repairs. 5 laps, as a matter of fact, but he's running very well since he came back onto the racetrack. He is, however, down in 39th position. The 13 car was wrecked, as we told you earlier, in practice with Dennis Setzer. He has been lapped, so 33 cars remain on the lead lap.
And right now, there's probably about a 6 or 7 second gap to the next car that would go a lap down. Steve Park is running 33rd down, the Pennzoil Chevrolet.
Have pit stops coming up before too long here.
Yeah, we completed 106 laps in this baby. And
here's the battle for 12th position, and Kenny Irwin Jr. is doing a great job. He started back in 36th position and is battling for the 12th spot right now with Chad Little.
There's our Circuit City onboard cameras. We see Kenny Irwin ease on by Chad Little. Tell you what, Kenny Irwin has the last 3 or 4 races has been doing a terrific job in this 28 car.
His best finish this year came at Atlanta early on.
Clear all around.
You see the white car, Steve Grissom. Here's a battle for the lead.
Yes.
I thought this was second place, but there's the guy I thought was leading, Jeff Burton. He's back in third. Hamilton is in first.
And we have our third leader of the evening, if he can be in the lead when they come back to the line. Here's a Hardee's field summary with the manufacturers battle once again. And Hamilton comes off corner number 4 and leads the 110th lap. And so we have had 3 leaders so far tonight. Wallace, Burton, and Hamilton. Jeff Burton led 6 laps.
And I tell you what, all these guys are using that high line around this racetrack. They found that their cars get around the racetrack a little bit better. Now Schrader's been able to get by Jeff Gordon, put Schrader up to 4th, Jeff Gordon back to 5th.
And now the battle is for second place, Benny, as Burton and Wallace are wheel to wheel.
That's the way Benny drove when he
yep.
Carson. He just go out there to pull him off on the outside.
And Jeff Burton goes to second. As Ned indicated, before too long, the pit stops will be occurring. And before we go to break, we'll show you this battle between the 16 of Kevin LePage and the 96 of Ted Musgrave. And that is for the 15th spot.
Musgrave has fallen back a little bit. He was up there in the top 10 not too long ago, but evidently the handle's gone away on his Caterpillar Chevrolet.
LePage from 38th to 15th.
Bill Elliott right behind them in 17th position. And LePage takes a spot away.
So some of the guys who started in the back of the field are having very good runs here this evening, including Kevin LePage. More in a moment from Richmond International Raceway when we return.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of high-performance additives and cleaners. A complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetic molecules that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits.
Fuel and air mixture, a go.
So your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have ignition.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road.
We asked professional race car driver Scott Pruitt to test our Firehawk SH30 high-performance tires with Unity. Unity, the ultimate tire technology we've spent years perfecting. In fact, when it comes to designing performance tires for wet cornering, we've been around the block. The Firestone Firehawk SH30 with Unity. Get a grip on wet cornering.
About 6 laps earlier than anticipated, Rusty Wallace has come down pit road. He just screamed to the crew, I'm coming in, I'm coming in. I might have a tire going down. The tires may have gone away, but in any event, Rusty Wallace on pit road for a 4-car change. Let's check in with Bill.
Great run for Jeff Burton. Wants a little more forward bite. Right side tires are already on. Cool going in. He's been expertly coached by his spotter, Bobby Hudson, and by Buddy Parrott along pit road. 19 to launch. Burton is on his way.
Wow, 16.9.
Great pit stop.
Dale Jarrett rolls down pit road for his first scheduled stop. Here's Jerry again.
Dale Jarrett had complained that his car was too tight. He could not even get near the bottom of the racetrack where the other leaders have been running. They plan a track jar adjustment. They put the handle in the right rear. They're also going to make an air pressure change. Change 4 tires, and now 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds on the track bar to try to loosen the car up. 4 tires on the car number 88. Left side tires going on. Meanwhile, Bobby Hamilton and Jeff Gordon come in as DJ leads. Hamilton will get right side tires. They plan no adjustment whatsoever on the car number 4. Likewise, Jeff Gordon now getting left side tires on the car number 24. 1 round out of the bar in Gordon's car. Left side tires on. Hamilton down and away. Gordon down and away. Let's go to Bill Weber in the Kenny Schrader pit.
And a good run for Ken Schrader. He pulls into his pit stall, gets right side tires, no chassis adjustment. He'll swing around to the left side, slapping the second can of fuel. Lugs come off, tires go on. Schrader's been smooth and consistent on his times, looking for the right move. He has a good stop. The Jerry Puncher, Mark Martin's pit.
Mark Martin coming in for his routine pit stop. You would expect to anticipate 4 tire change. The crew now going to the right side. 1 puff on the jack. The right side of the Valvoline Ford is up. Right side tires going on. Bobby Labonte pulling away right in front of Mark Martin. Now left side tires going in. Mark Martin's frustration from a week ago. Hoping to make up for it here at Richmond. Needing all the punch he can get. Left side tires, no major adjustments. Slide air pressure only. He is down and away. Now the car number 43 headed down pit road. John Andretti in the STP Pontiac. His first stop coming here on lap 123. Being very deliberate, 40 miles an hour. He brings the car in, stops it short right by the side. 1 pump, another half pump on the jack. And likewise for John Andretti, they make a track bar adjustment to try to loosen the car up a little bit. Andretti, as of many of the drivers, have complained that the car was a little bit tight in the middle of the corner. Now left side tires going on. Getting it full of fuel. Andretti's crew doing the left side tires, and also great pit work thus far in the 91 car for Todd Bodine. What an effort he has had here thus far in the early running. Left side tires going on Joe Fox Chevrolet, trying to impress a sponsor here watching tonight. Let's check in with John Turner.
Kenny Irwin Jr.'s car is running just great as the tire gets away, but the crew grabs it. Tire change, no adjustment for Kenny Irwin Jr., whose car on this long run was actually running faster than the leaders.
And Kenny Irwin was one of 5 drivers who have led a lap here since these pit stops began. Todd Bodine led 2. Johnny Benson is leading 2 laps. He's still on the track. Schrader, Martin, and Irwin each led 1 lap.
And Johnny Benson's one of those drivers who made a pit stop during one of the cautions back there, so he might go another 20 or so laps. So he's got a lot of cars down. Rusty Wallace just got back in the lead lap, but there's a lot of cars that are a lap down right now while these cars have not made pit stops.
The Pennzoil Copter Cam will show you the racing facility here in Richmond International Raceway. We're 127 laps into the 400 lap Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400.
He is an American icon. He has sold more than any other. He is fast cars. He is rock and roll. He is the king.
Hey, watch it, baby.
The Brake King. Run into the one and only Brake King for quality fast service. No appointment necessary. Jefferson Avenue, Newport News.
You can't stop. Run into Brake King.
If you've been injured, we'd like to help. Yes, we'd like to help. Joe Stewart, attorney at law, is the one to know.
If you've been injured due to someone's negligence, you need the support of an experienced attorney. Joe Stewart is the one to know.
Joe Stewart is the one to know.
Catch everything that happens in the NFL this weekend on ESPN. From our studio shows to ESPN Sunday Night Football, it's the NFL on ESPN. Sunday at 11, it's NFL Countdown. At 7:30, it's NFL Primetime. And at 8:15, it's ESPN Sunday Night Football. Indianapolis at New England. Then, Monday at 6:30, it's Monday Night Countdown. The NFL is on ESPN.
In Denton, Texas, a lot of folks who work on their cars go to AutoZone because they know they're going to find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and good people like Tom Robinson. You see, Tom's the kind of guy who really likes to help folks out. And since he's been around cars most all his life, he knows his parts, too. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Tom, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Johnny Benson in the 26 car is the leader of the race at the moment. There are 5 drivers who have not yet made pit stops. They are Benson, Jeff Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, Ward Burton, and Michael Waltrip. And the reason they have not is because they pitted earlier.
Yes, they stopped on lap 36. I know Benson, I was handing a note that Johnny Benson stopped on lap 36. As we see Todd Bodine, the 91 car, racing with Kenny Irwin, the 28, the Texaco car. That is a battle for the 15th position. 16th spot, sorry.
Some of these drivers will be shown on your scoreboard as a lap down, but remember, when everything cycles through and as far as the pit stops are concerned, those will go away.
Now, if the caution flag were to come out right now, they in fact would be a lap down, and that's exactly what they don't want to happen. That's one reason that you see cars stay on the racetrack for an extended period of time, is just trying to stay in the lead lap.
Now the leader is in. Johnny Benson is in the pits. John Kernan.
It'll be a routine 4-tire change for Johnny Benson, plus they will do a chassis adjustment in the right rear. They've gone half of the round out to get tight. The car up is just a little bit loose apparently. Now they're already swinging around to the left side. You can actually see sparks flying off the lug nuts. Oh, they've got it full of gas. Now they get the left front lug nuts a little bit slow on there, but he's down and away. They spilled a lot of gas out here on the pit road.
Making his way slowly down pit road, staying under the speed limit before he can stand on the accelerator and rejoin the race. And the lead now goes to Jeff Bodine.
Yes.
This just shows you how better you are on fresher tires, as Jeff Bodine is on old tires, the leader of the race, running only 115 miles an hour, and Jeff Burton, back in 5th spot, who has made a recent pit stop, is over 118 and a half.
And that's 3/4 of a second. You see 23.447 to 22.75, 3/4 of a second. And in 10 laps, that's 7.5 seconds. Jerry Fudge, what happened to Rusty Walsh's tires?
Well, he came in 7 laps early, but he said he thought I had a tire going down. This is the right front tire off Rusty Walsh's car, and I've marked it right here. He indeed had a slice on the inside shoulder. So Rusty was going into turn 3 and said, tire, tire, tire. We were in commercial. He wasn't planning on pitting for 7 more laps, but he came down pit road and made the correct call.
And again, he is running in the 7th position. Here we have Irwin once again, along with Bill Elliott, Jimmy Spencer, and Sterling Marlin and Chad Little. Down to Bill Weber as the 22 car makes the stop.
They wanted Ward Burton on lap 140, and they got him. Car owner Bill Davis is calling the shots tonight. This team will have a new crew chief on Tuesday when Tommy Baldwin makes the move over from the 90 car. It's been a good run for Ward. This team desperately needs a finish. He's got right side tires, fuel going in, left side tires going on. Burton sitting patiently in the car waiting for the jack to drop. They have trouble with launch on the left rear. Now Jeff heads out to John Kernan. Jeff Bodine, who had also pitted earlier, comes in to make his scheduled pit stop. 4 tires, haven't seen any chassis adjustment as of yet. However, I didn't see an air pressure, checking the air pressure before he pitted. Coming around to the left side, left side tires coming off, getting a little bit of trouble with that left rear tire, but we'll get them all tightened and away.
And you see Michael Waltrip also in the pits in the Wood Brothers Citgo Ford. He's one of those drivers that had made one earlier pit stop. He was in second place when he came in as Bodine.
Oh, we got a crash up in turn 4. Turn 4.
One up in front of you, Watch it.
Is that
There
Dick
you go.
Trickle?
Go
Yes,
high.
it
You're
is.
Good. You're good. Okay.
Oh, and that's the leader. That's the leader of the race coming, and there's a car sitting in front of them.
They're trying to get laps back, and he's sitting in the middle of the racetrack.
Jimmy Spencer is the leader of the race as the race back to the caution occurs. Dick Trickle has hit the wall hard in turn number 4. He has, however, looks like gotten the car refired.
Tell you what, we see he gets the car going again. You know, these guys have just got to stay on their feet, just thinking all the time, because they had to realize Jimmy Spencer was the leader, and they had to race him back to the line. We see Trickle is there at the head of pit road. His car will not move, so obviously pit road will be closed for some time while they move that 90 car out of the way.
Dick Trickle finished 5th here in the early race of 1990, but an encounter with the wall here in 1998 has severely damaged that Heilig-Myers car. Now here is the race back to the caution.
Look at Kenny Wallace in the 81 car. He shot down on the inside and is going to put himself back on the lead lap. And Chad Little coming up there in the green car.
Too close to call.
That was close.
Watch the upper right of your screen and you can see Dick Trickle into the wall. John Kernan has more.
Dick has radioed into the crew and told them that the rear brakes locked up on him, so that's what caused him to spin around and smack the wall really hard. The rear brakes locked up.
And so the caution is out once again on the 145 lap mark. This is our 3rd caution of the evening. More from Richmond in just a moment. Stay with us.
This is no ordinary leather jacket.
Because when you put it on, you're not just saying you're a NASCAR fan.
You're saying you care about kids. Buy an EXI NASCAR Select battery in 1998
and get the special 50th anniversary NASCAR jacket for just $150.
And on behalf of NASCAR fans everywhere, Exide will donate all profits to Give Kids the World Foundation.
The special edition 50th anniversary NASCAR jacket. Look for details wherever Exide NASCAR Select is sold.
Nice jacket.
Budweiser has 12 breweries located across the country. The Budweiser that you get from your local brewery is usually the freshest beer available in the marketplace. Budweiser sells very quickly. The average age of Budweiser on the shelf is about 40 days. Having local breweries ensures that your Budweiser is the freshest possible beer it can be by the time you purchase it.
How's the car, Dale? A little tight off. 0 cars moving up. Get them on the inside.
Inside every member of Team Monte Carlo, there's a side that's kind of wild.
Get another tire.
Team Monte Carlo.
Animal.
Pardon me. This year, they're hungrier than ever.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400 at Richmond is being brought to you by Team Monte Carlo. Dakar's more champions trust. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you. And by Exide NASCAR Select, the official automotive battery of NASCAR. 3 straight nights of racing here at Richmond. On Thursday night, a slam-bang affair as the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series took to the 3/4-mile oval, and Jack Sprague drove to his 4th win of 1998. And now they have qualified for tomorrow's race, and our old buddy from Winter Heat, Greg Biffle, will lead him to the green. Mike Bliss will start 2nd, Ron Hornaday 3rd, Tony Roper 4th, and Butch Miller 5th in the qualifying for tomorrow's Memphis 200, which you can see at 1 o'clock. But before that, RPM today is at 12:30. And then after the truck race, it's the Kart FedEx Championship Series at Laguna Seca, the Honda Grand Prix of Monterey, featuring the Texaco 300. That's at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here on ESPN.
Well, it looks like they've gotten the Dick Trickle car out of the way, so I would guess that pit road will probably be open this time. And this caution flag was ill-timed for several cars.
really was. It was good timing for Jimmy Spencer. He was going to have to make a pit stop before too long. Now he gets to make it under caution. But as a result of him staying out there, he's caught a lot of cars a lap down that had made green flag pit stop. Chad Little did not get his lap back. And Steve Grissom, here comes Spencer down pit road now. It looks like he might be the only one of the leaders that's coming in. Of course, the other leaders had pitted under green. No, Bobby Hamilton is coming in.
Bobby Hamilton, the third place car is coming down pit road.
The leader and the third place cars on pit road, and Jimmy Spencer has driven from last starting position to the lead. Here's Jerry Punch in the 23 pit.
And they plan an air pressure adjustment and also an adjustment on the track bar. See the handle in the right rear window. 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. This guy's going to get tendonitis with that track bar handle over there. Now, they fall down the jack bed, getting to the left side of the car. Getting tires on the left side. Likewise, the car number 4, Bobby Hamilton, getting his service. Now working on that car on the left side. Here is Spencer down and away as Bobby Hamilton's Kodak film crew now cleaning the front of that car, getting it nice and clean and clear. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Kenny Wallace is on pit road. He's already got right side tires. They made a track bar adjustment. Left side's going on. Car's down. Square D on its way.
And Bill Elliott also made a pit stop, and Dale Earnhardt has gone back into competition as we ride along with Kenny Wallace as he pulls out of the pits. The 43 car of John Andretti. These cars a lap down now are coming in for service.
Yeah, John Andretti and Kyle Petty and Steve Grissom all, and Mike Skinner all got caught on that situation of the green flag pit stop, and Spencer not having made a pit stop has really put them a lap down. So now they're coming in.
There you see the cars pulling in. Derek Cope is in, Bill.
And the battle continues for this Pontiac team. Right side tires have gone on. They made a track bar adjustment. They're going to go ahead and do left side tires as well. Kyle Petty was pitted behind them. He's left pit road. Terry Labonte heads down pit road, as does Ted Musgrave, holding on the left side tires. Derek's car, they're having trouble with the left rear. Long time to get those lugs on, but now he's on his way.
Cope rolling back into competition, as is Setzer, Ricky Rudd, and several others. Well, sometimes the ballet on pit road doesn't turn out to be such a pretty sight. But the athlete that he is, he jumps right up and goes to the other side of the car to get that car up on jacks. We'll be right back.
I'm looking for Pine Street.
Go down to the fork in the road. Right, but make sure you take the left fork. Right. Then you see a big brown dog. Keep straight. 2 blocks down the street, you see a man named Slappy selling maps. Don't buy one. You already got one. Right. Hang a right at Slappy. That's a left, right? A right. Left. Right. Okay. Right. Keep straight. Watch out for the goat. Then you see a big McDonald's and... Right.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Aren't you glad we brought you in?
I'm glad.
Chef Paul of Bowman's makes the best steaks in town, the Herald. Chef Paul is the maestro of marinade, the Herald. Chef Paul's reputation is built on his marinade alone, the Herald.
Chef Paul's secret ingredient is actually A1.
Chef Paul questioned about missing assistant, the Herald. The secret to great steak isn't just for great steakhouses anymore. A1, a marinade, a seasoning, a 136-year-old secret.
Nobody's even going to see that.
Comfort that never quits. Red Wing shoes. Work hard.
We're getting set for a restart now. Now the leader of the race is Jeff Burton, and he is third in the outside line. Several cars are at the tail end of the lead lap as we go back to green.
Chad Little is one of those.
Green flag,
Takes the green flag. And Ernie Irvin is right in front of Jeff Burton as they start. Now they're almost a lap down, but when Jimmy Spencer came into the pits, that left them on the tail end of the lead lap, because they were in front of Jeff Burton.
Steve Grissom trying his best to stay in the lead lap, drive as hard as they can and hope that they get a caution flag before Jeff Burton gets up there and tries to pass them.
Well, here they come 3 deep coming out of the corner as a lot of cars are jockeying around trying to do just that. And of course, that's a recipe for a caution flag when you get this many cars running this close together.
On board with Kenny Irwin as he sees a lot of traffic up ahead of him. Kenny is running in the 8th position. He's no stranger to Richmond. He's competed here in midgets and Silver Crown cars. And remember, he won the pole position for the truck race here at Richmond a few years ago.
And we see Bobby Labonte, the food line on board cameras. He sees this. And Ned Jarrett is exactly right. This is a recipe for disaster. Caution flag, breed caution flag. And so far, these guys are able to run side by side at 125 miles per hour and keep everything under control.
You've had 10 different leaders so far in the first 156 laps of this race. Rusty Wallace has led the most, 103. Here's Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace battling for position for second spot, and Kenny Schrader continues to be among the contenders. He's 4th.
Rusty Wallace, all of a sudden, Jeff Gordon's able to get by and put a couple of car lengths on, so it looks like Rusty's car right now not handling as well as it was to begin with. As Schrader comes up and challenges the Miller Lite Ford. And Jeff Bodine, that Phillips Ford, on the inside of Schrader.
Yeah, he is now a lap down because of the pit stop situation back in 19th, but he was one of those who led during the pit stop sequence. In fact, he led 6 laps.
So Rusty Wallace gets in front of Schrader, pulls down to go the inside. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon, we can see a little bit of a bump from Schrader. Jeff Bodine's pulled up beside of Rusty Wallace.
Johnny Benson there in the 26 car was also a leader, but he's a lap down now in 20th. As is John Andretti.
Boy, there's just nowhere to go for Schrader there and a lot of others.
Rusty's car is just not right now. I don't know exactly, pushing loose, whatever, but he's having some trouble trying to get that Miller Lite Ford around the racetrack.
Right now, the 99 car of Jeff Burton, the leader of the race, is the fastest car on the racetrack. He has nobody to deal with
except some lap traffic.
And Jerry has more on Rusty Wallace.
At the beginning of the race when Rusty was leading, and right until he lost the lead, his car had been a little bit tight. And now for the first time tonight, Rusty has come by and told the crew the car is a tick loose. Not bad, but enough where he can't turn the car abruptly down off the corner.
Okay. The middle 10 races of the 1998 season were not good for Rusty Wallace.
Well, now here we are, 3 abreast. Rusty says, I don't like that. He backs up wisely, I might add, backs out of the throttle and lets Skinner in the 31, the Lowe's car, and Schrader go by.
Yeah, he said, let this mess straighten out a little bit here, and then I'll show you what I got a little bit later.
So Schrader goes to 3rd, and Rusty is back to 4th as once again Jimmy Spencer continues to show some muscle. He's riding alongside Kenny Irwin Jr., and that is a battle for position for the 8th spot, make the 9th spot. And Bobby Hamilton is within the thick of things, too, there.
Hamilton, another car that both the Spencer and Hamilton cars made pit stops this last caution flag. Kenny Irwin did not.
So those pressure tires, even though it might be just 15 or so laps, 20, makes a big difference.
On board with Sterling Marlin, and we'll enter the Tabasco hot zone.
You see up to 127 miles per hour. Now he comes off the corner, accelerates down the front straightaway. This ought to be a little bit faster. It's the longest, yes, 135 miles per hour he will reach going into turn 1. And now you know why the brake rotors turned cherry red. You can see how long he kept that foot on the brake pedal.
Back up front.
And we see that Jeff Burton, the 99 car, is the leader, but Jeff Gordon is right there as they're trying to get by the lap car, the Skittles Pontiac of Ernie Irvan.
Look at the incredible average that Jeff Gordon has in the last 6 races. 1.6.
Almost as good as you can get.
It's tough to gain points on somebody that has a record like that, isn't it? Although Jarrett and Martin both have good averages themselves. Jarrett has averaged 5.8 and Mark Martin 8.5. But boy, it's tough to make ground on Jeff Gordon.
And here comes Spencer. He's on the inside of Dale Jarrett. That'll be for the 8th spot.
I think Jimmy is glad that that car crashed in happy hour because this one is running fine, thank you.
Doing great. Jarrett's getting caught on that outside. Cannot get back down. Don't know if his car would stay down if he could get down, but he's just having a tough time out there.
And again, the driver box there shows us Spencer. His originally assigned position was 16th, but he started at the back of the field because he went to a backup car. Is up tonight.
Another car that's got nowhere to go.
Mark Martin and Bobby Labonte are battling for the 6th position, just behind Kevin LePage, who's running 5th.
You see Kyle Petty. He's another car that got caught up in the pit stop. He's now a lap down the Hot Wheels Pontiac.
Right now, there's 17 cars being shown on the lead lap.
You know, this is a great racetrack for competition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This is a terrific. These guys can run side by side, and doesn't seem to hurt them that bad, inside or outside.
It's the pride and joy of the Sawyer family here in Richmond. Actually, we're not located within the city limits of Richmond. We're in Henrico County in the Commonwealth of Virginia. There is Spencer, Bobby Hamilton, Dale Jarrett, Kenny Irwin, and Sterling Marlin all battling for position. Jerry has an update on Jimmy Spencer.
Guys, check the irony in this. The car Jimmy Spencer wrecked today in happy hour was the exact car and engine he wrecked on Saturday at New Hampshire. This car he is driving tonight is the exact same car they pulled out as a backup car at New Hampshire, went to the rear of the field, and ran all the way to the top 10 before fading at the very end, but still got a very respectable 13th place finish. What did Yogi Bear call that? Deja vu all over again?
I think you're right. He may want to make this his primary car because it is on a fine run here this evening. We're 25 laps away from the halfway mark. And John has more on Bill Elliott, who seems to be off the pace, John.
That's exactly right, Bob. The problem, a miss under the hood. The engine has developed a miss, possibly an ignition problem for Bill Elliott.
And we can see that 1998 has not been kind to Bill Elliott. And as we see, Ernie Irvan still in front of Jeff Burton. And John Andretti has about caught these guys. Look at right on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, he is catching them. But, you know, there was one other guy that was in this picture when that green flag dropped, was Chad Little. He has literally driven away from him. He's pulled away by 5 or 6 seconds ahead of the leader. So he's in no danger of going a lap down.
Little is running in 16th in the car, just ahead of Jeff Burton. Ernie Irvan is in 17th position. And Jeff has been unable to put a lap on Ernie since the drop of the green flag for the restart. Nearly 100,000 people are enjoying tonight's race here at Richmond International Raceway, and they're seeing a good one. Jeff Burton leads Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Kenny Schrader, and Kevin LePage.
Ever think about the one, the only Pizza Hut pan, the holder of our favorite pizza? Yeah, we ooh and ah over the bubbling cheese and stuff, but do we ever compliment the pan? Thanks, pan, for making the crust so crispy and chewy. No, the pizza gets all the attention in the pan. Well, it gets washed. In honor of the forgotten pan, Pizza Hut is doing something unforgettable. For a very short time, a Supreme or up to 3 toppings pan pizza's just $8.99. $8.99. Oh, Pizza Hut, the best pizzas under one roof.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of high-performance additives and cleaners. A complete fuel system treatment formulated with component-targeting synthetic molecules that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits.
Fuel and air mixture, a go.
So your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have an issue.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road.
To thank the greatest fans in sports and to close its 50th anniversary season, NASCAR offers you a chance to win a fantasy trip to the Napa 500 in November. On September 27th, during ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series race from Martinsville, we will announce a special phone number. When you call that number, you will be given 4 NASCAR-related questions. Answer them correctly, and you could be one of 10 fans to win this exclusive behind-the-scenes experience. Check out NASCAR online and NASCAR Winston Cup Scene for details and a sneak preview of the questions.
The Speed Palace they call Richmond International Raceway is our venue tonight for this NASCAR Winston Cup competition. The Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400, the Pennzoil Copter Can, is bringing you this shot.
You know, this thing has got awfully confusing, Ned.
I'm not confused.
I mean, I am confused about the speed of these cars. I mean, Jeff Burton never received the lead of the race. The 99 car, the Exide Batteries 4. Ernie Irvin, he's been trying to lap Ernie Irvin here for the last, I don't know how long. We see John Andretti, he's just driven up and passed all of them, gone by. And there we see Jeff Bodine goes by. And here's Jeff Gordon going for the lead. But, I mean, in the meantime, as you said, Nick, Chad Little must have pulled a quarter of a lap out of these guys.
Oh, yeah. He just absolutely has driven away. He's catching the back of the field now.
Well, you can fire up your laptops and let NASCAR Online take you trackside with timing and scoring. You can jump on www.nascar.com and get Bud Pole qualifying results and the scoring as it happens in Winston Cup, Busch, and Craftsman Truck Series events. So you can do that tomorrow when you're watching the truck race here on ESPN. That's NASCAR Online. Kenny Schrader and Bobby Labonte battle for the 5th position here in Richmond.
Labonte had faded a little bit before he made that pit stop, but now Jimmy Maycar and the crew seems to have put some speed back in that Pontiac, trying to come back towards the front.
Bill has more on Ken Schrader.
Good run for Kenny continues. He was a little bit tight before he pitted just past lap 120. So when he made that pit stop, they increased the air pressure just a little bit. Well, now his car's a little bit loose, so next time he pits, they're going to be returned to the original air pressure. Good run for Schrader. They hope it can continue. Long time since he's been to victory lane.
His best ever finish here was a 4th. That happened on 2 different occasions, most recently here in June.
You know, Bob, a little bit ago, I said there were 17 cars on the lead lap. Now there are 20, as Mike Skinner has gotten back on the lead lap, and we saw Jeff Bodine get his back, and John Andretti. So if those drivers can get a caution, they'll be in great shape.
And there are only 2 cars out of the race, Dick Trickle and Robert Presley. Everybody else is still running, including the cars involved in that incident on the backstretch, Dale Earnhardt and Joe Nemechek.
As Spencer goes by, Mark Martin goes into the 9th spot. Hello, Johnny Benson, slow down the backstretch. Oh, Betty Crocker going for a ride. John Kerner, what's on with Benson?
It's a motor problem, Benny. In fact, 2 laps ago, he radioed in and told the crew the engine
engine is going. It might last another 20 laps, but
Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Engine problems for Johnny Vincent Jr.
And he led 11 laps here this evening, and that was the first time he had led a NASCAR Winston Cup race since Watkins Glen.
You know, I told it a little bit ago I was a little confused about these guys. Now, the fellows in front, Ned, stopped and changed tires, but I didn't think that 15 or 20 laps on these tires would make that big a difference, but obviously it does, as Jeff Gordon just blows by Burton.
Jeff Gordon goes to the lead, and he has not led yet tonight, but as he comes down and crosses the line, he gets credit for it, so give him 5 bonus points. Ray Evernham looks on at his driver, Jeff Gordon.
So now this is a little bit earlier. We've been doing this lately, Jeff. But he's got the car to do it, so hey, a smoker here, and that's Bill Elliott. We reported earlier that he was having a problem. Now he's really having a problem with that McDonald's Ford.
Down to the apron of the racetrack, however.
I don't think he got any oil on the racetrack. I think that was just some smoke internally, and I don't believe he got any oil on the racetrack. I don't think we'll see a caution flag. And so far, we haven't seen a caution.
If he can get back to the pits.
Here's second and third in the point standings, battling for position.
Battling for 10th position. Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin.
Meanwhile, this battle is going on about 7 3/4 seconds behind the leader. We see Kyle Petty, a little smoke there for his car.
Kyle Petty and Jeff Green, the 44 and the 46, they're involved in a battle for position, the 21st spot. And Terry Labonte is also on the same lap as those 3 cars. Not on the lead lap, but on the same as Petty and...
Oh, did Gordon hit the wall? He was close.
Boy, if he didn't, he came awfully close. He backed out, nevertheless, and gave the lead up to Jeff Burton again.
I see Rick Mass, a 75 car, trying to get by Jeff Burton. Can't quite make it. Rick is several laps down, 6 laps.
Yeah, he was one of those drivers. He was 5 laps down, got caught up in that pit stop situation, green flag pit stop situation. Now, what's Ray Evernham saying?
Lap traffic.
Didn't like that. Yeah, lap traffic. Okay.
Well, it has put Jeff Burton back at the front of this field now. But Jeff Gordon has led some laps, 4 as a matter of fact, and picks up the 5 bonus points that are very critical in his battle for his 3rd NASCAR Winston Cup championship. And you can see that Gordon now is 239 ahead of Mark Martin as we progress through this race here at Richmond. We're at the 1 halfway mark, halfway around through this race, 200 laps completed, and Jeff Burton picks up the $10,000 for leading at the halfway mark.
Pomoco Import Blowout. Honda, Infiniti, Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Isuzu, Mazda, Suzuki. 250 imports, $3 million worth. All prices below NADA book and posted right on the windshield. Get your Pomoco Vantage Import at the blowout price. Now at the Pomoco Import Blowout. All 4 Pomoco used car centers. Pomoco, peace of mind. Of course.
At Cooper, we put our tires through some rigorous testing to assure they're among the strongest around. Cooper, your next set of tires.
GEX, the area's Cooper tire store with locations in Hampton and Newport News, featuring free mounting, free computer balancing, free air valves, free rotations, and free flat repairs on every tire sold. Look to GEX for your next set of tires.
NFL Tonight on ESPN2, Tuesday through Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Now, guys will have something to talk about.
The zoom lens, indispensable for televising the 3 kinds of drives found on the tour. Those being wee, less wee, and freaking huge.
technology serving mankind.
Way to go, way to go.
Back in Richmond, and we have a crash up in the fourth turn. Todd Bodine and Chad Little have crashed, and Chad was one of, if not the fastest car on the racetrack when this occurred. Here's Jerry.
They were about to bring Todd Bodine in anyway. His feet were burning in the car, and he was overcome with heat. Apparently, the inside of the car was so hot, he was having trouble breathing. They had already run Dick Trickle down here, and Trickle was standing by in the pits. They were hoping to get a caution flag to be able to get the 91 car in and put Trickle in it. The problem was, they didn't want to be the reason for the caution flag, but now they've got their flag. Trickle has the helmet on and will stand by to go in the 91 car.
Here comes Todd down pit road with a lot of damage on the left side of that car, and pit road is open, so here they come.
See that Jeff Gordon is the leader. There's Rusty Wallace. John Kernan.
Kenny Irwin is in. A great run. He's in the top 10. Also, Kevin LePage right behind him around the wedge going into Kevin LePage's car. But Kenny Irwin said, hey, the car's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. Jeff Burton, the leader, is in. Here's Bill Weber. Burton's getting right side tires, and then he'll get left side tires and fuel. They're going to make a track bar adjustment and return to the original air pressure. The 28 is already out, and Gordon is on pit road. Jerry's there.
And they've already changed wide side tires. Now the Rainbow Warriors going to work on the left side. Burton is out of the pits as Gordon's crew continues to work down here toward the end of the pit road. They drop it off the jack. Here comes Burton. There goes Gordon. And they nearly touch exiting the pits. Wallace is out as they exit down in turn one.
Looks like Gordon is going to come out second. Coming out third would be Rusty, and I believe Kenny Irwin and Bobby Labonte would follow that, actually in reverse order. Labonte and then Kenny Irvin as John Andretti and Ernie Irvin come out of their pit stalls. Under caution because of an incident up in turn number 3.
The 91 car had slowed dramatically coming off the second corner. I don't know exactly why. We see Chad Little go in the corner, and Chad's groove, he was going low and go up on the racetrack, and when he tried to go up to his normal groove, he didn't realize the 91 car was going to be there. They made contact, and around they go.
From another angle.
You see the cars up the very top of your screen. I don't know what made Todd, why coming off the second corner, he had slowed dramatically. I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Well, perhaps he was thinking about trying to get to the pits because, as Jerry said, his feet were burning, and he was also trying to maintain consciousness, perhaps. And you can see Chad knock down some, what are those, filled with water?
Water barrels, yeah. Well, I guess they're not water sandbags.
Yeah. Well, that makes cleanup a lot easier, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't think Chad hurt his car too bad.
Boy, he was a rocket ship when the incident occurred. We will check in on that when we return to Richmond International Raceway. 208 laps completed here with Jeff Burton, the leader.
In Murray, Utah, a lot of folks like to work on their cars themselves, and they come to AutoZone because they know they'll find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and helpful people like Rick Perry. Now, Rick's been around cars all his life, so he knows a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems. And whether it's selling new parts or testing old ones, he's always glad to help. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Competition won't be able to explain when the only four-door rookie in NASCAR starts blowing their doors off. Maybe they should get more doors. Ford Taurus.
EA Sports presents Cyberberry. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Madden NFL 99. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Who's that, Grandma?
That would have been your great-uncle Floyd. About 65 years ago, he was playing hide-and-seek with his friends. And they never found him.
If you're gonna play to win,
Nobody found me.
play to win.
If you're gonna have roast beef, have roast beef. Hardee's tender roast beef, specially seasoned, oven roasted, fresh slice to order.
You're gonna go? Go all out.
Track facts are brought to you by Quaker State for protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions.
A few years ago, the term camber joined the NASCAR Winston Cup vocabulary. Now, camber is the angle at which race teams are allowed to lean in a wheel so the tire makes flatter contact with the racing surface. Now, NASCAR legislates camber, allowing a maximum of 1.9 degrees of negative camber on the rear-end axle housing. Now, to get that camber, normally you'd have to bend this axle housing, and originally, that's how it was done. Today, this axle housing is machined to allow for camber. Since our wheel hub is anchored so we can get our camber measurement, we're going to spin this rear-end axle housing and show you how much it's actually bent. Give it a whirl, Benny.
All right, Bill.
Now, on your passenger car, this axle spins in a perfect circle. See how ours pivots? That shows you how much the axle is actually bent to allow for 1.9 degrees of negative camber. Why so much interest in camber? Well, when we made the switch from bias ply to radial tires, the radials don't flex as much as the bias ply, and teams can't play with stagger anymore. So they had to find other ways of gaining greater contact with the racing surface.
Didn't I do good?
You were wonderful.
Yeah, I did a good
Nice
job.
profile of the body there.
And, you know, the trucks, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, they do not allow the trucks to run negative camber in the rear housing. And that really makes those trucks a handful. It helps these cars dramatically. Remember at Martinsville 3 or 4 years ago when all these guys put all the negative camber in the rear tires and put so much that you end up destroying the drive plates in the gear.
All right, let's take a look at a pit summary. Jeff Gordon came in first, came out second. Burton and him swapped. Hamilton lost 3. Rusty Wallace gained 1. And Ken Schrader lost 4. Bill can update Burton.
Well, a lot of discussion going on in the Jeff Burton pit. We told you they wanted to make an air pressure adjustment to return the air pressure to what it was prior to the previous pit stop. Well, they didn't make that decision until it was too late. Burton was already coming down pit road, so they wanted to get another half pound in the right front tire, only they didn't get that done. They're concerned about how the car's going to handle in this situation. Burton has been looking for more forward bite throughout the evening. We'll be watching. He is the race leader.
We're about to go back to green after a caution that came out on lap 205.
And here's what happened. We see Todd Bodine, the 91 car, coming off turn 2. I saw him slow dramatically. I didn't realize that it almost spun. And he's very slow off the corner. When he goes down in turn 3, that's when he makes contact with Chad Little. Gary?
And Todd Bodine's feet had been burning, and finally the heat had gotten to him. They've been calling to get someone. They were going to bring him in a couple of laps anyway, but the contact, of course, took place, and that's what brought out the caution flag. Now, when the car came down pit road, Todd got out of the car, and they helped him to an ambulance. He's been taken to the care center, where he will probably get some IV fluids, and we'll update it.
Boy, Kyle Petty just did not turn when he headed for turn number 1. May have lost the right front, huh, Benny?
Looks like it. The car just went straight. He got to turn 1, and the car just went straight. Now we've got a bunch of cars trying to get laps back as no one got back.
Cannot do it.
Slow down now, guys. Slow down.
Boy, Kyle really took a shot.
That's 10-4. I was just saying you stay tight because the car's coming back at you.
See Kyle moving around. Like he's taking his gloves off. The steering wheel is
Hit
off.
the right front pretty hard there.
John Kernan.
Looks like you tore it pretty bad, buddy.
And what Kyle's told his crew on the radio is that the throttle hung wide open on it, and that's what caused him. When he went to let off to go into the turn, it didn't come back up off the floor, and so he went in there full tilt and hit the wall hard.
Wow. Well, it was obviously some kind of mechanical problem because there was smoke from the car as he obviously was trying to hit the brakes, and then the car shot right for the outside wall.
How lucky is Jeff Gordon? Watch this. He's going to go between the leader and the second-place car. Wow.
Boom. Well, he did hit that wall hard. Came back down. Fortunately, it stayed high enough that the other cars could go underneath him.
You see that smoke is brakes. He's nailing the brakes, trying to get the thing slowed down. But obviously, when the accelerator's on, brakes is not going to overcome that 750 horsepower. The helicopter.
See, he's the second car in line there, trying to move on the inside of Jeff Burton, and all of a sudden, he realizes that the car is The accelerator is still stuck open.
He just barely missed Jeff Burton. He could have taken him out real easily.
6 inches maybe?
Yep.
Man. Look at all these cars going by. 4 and 5 abreast trying to get by Kyle, sitting in the middle of the racetrack.
Tough break.
Kyle is out of the car and walking away, so that's good news. But the car is very extensively damaged, and we're under our 5th caution of the evening in the Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400. We'll be back in just a moment.
Competition won't be able to explain when the only 4-door rookie in NASCAR starts blowing their doors off. Maybe they should get more doors. Ford Taurus.
Synthetic motor oil. Even at 475 degrees, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
At Plank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice House, thanks and enjoy.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of the special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
My biggest asset's my people. They're experts in solving your problem.
This is Ron Camerata, Federated Store Manager. He's been in the parts business 31 years.
Federated has quality products, quality people, and we're very competitive. Customers call, they ask your advice, they ask your help for things. That's part of being a store manager. And that's rewarding because they know that you've gone out of your way to give them what they need.
When you want the best parts and expert advice, go to your Federated Auto Parts store.
Richmond International Raceway, one of NASCAR racing's most historic venues and a place with a legendary list of winners. Back in 1955, brothers Tim and Fonty Flock made it a family affair at Richmond, finishing first and second in a 100-mile race. It was one of 4 1-2 finishes that year for the brothers and teammates. And it was one of Tim Flock's 18 victories on the way to the 1955 NASCAR Grand National Championship. Together, the Flock brothers teamed up to win 22 of the 40 races run in the 55 season. NASCAR's 50th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Coca-Cola Classic, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Some of the legendary winners here at Richmond International Raceway. John is with Johnny Benson.
Back in the garage area, Johnny's changed to his street clothes. They've already loaded the car onto the hauler. A short night for them. But Johnny, your thoughts are kind of somewhere else right now.
Yeah, they sure are. You know, lost a good friend last weekend at Minnesota, and you know, Chris Bradley, and all of our thoughts and prayers go out with them. And, you know, lost a great friend and a guy that helped us go to the championship. Worked for us 4 years, and, you know, we both got our first ASA championship together, and, you know, we're both real proud of that. So it's, you know, a huge loss for all their family and, of course, myself and our families. And, like I said, we're real close with them, with all the Bradleys.
Johnny, of course, referring to the incident during an ASA race last Monday, in which Adam Petty was involved in a tragedy on pit road. Green flag comes out. We're back to racing here at Richmond on the 222nd lap. And again, Jeff Burton is the leader, and he's got Steve Grissom now between himself and Jeff Gordon running second.
Steve Griffin's car is pretty good. The Kodiak Chevrolet is pretty good, but he's not a match right now for Jeff Burton.
Yeah, he was one of those cars that got caught down that lap on the green flag pit stops. He was had moved himself up into the top 15, was running well, but you're right. Burton's got a little bit too much.
On board with Bobby Labonte, who's running in 4th. Just ahead is Ricky Rudd, who's celebrating his 42nd birthday today. Happy birthday to Ricky.
Wasn't a very good birthday, though. Kyle Bay didn't have a very good day either, did he, John?
No, he didn't, Benny, but the good news is Kyle has been checked out in the infield care center. Kyle, you're all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just told them I had something happen to me. I've been driving a race car, fortunate, God bless, forever. Never had it happen. The throttle hung. We'd been having some carburetor trouble. I'd dropped back and it'd come back and whatever. And going off in the first corner, I hung, and I see Burton on the outside and Gordon on the outside. I'm thinking, this is good. I'm going to wipe out everybody going in the first corner. But I reached up and slapped it off and was fortunate. Tore the wall down, but that's okay. And again, I'd like to say, send my condolences to the Bradley family and let them know we're still thinking about them. And we tried tonight, but just come up a little short.
Okay, this is going to be real good. 3 abreast. And they just about crashed off turn 2. They're trying to finish the job here, but they still able to continue on.
Now, Chad Little lost a lap when he spun with the 91 car.
Whoa, look out. That's Sterling Marlin, and he did not hit the wall, but it looks like there's a tire flat on that car. Looks like the left front tire is flat. Yes, it is.
Boy, that's a miracle he kept it out of the wall over in turn 2.
And I saw these cars come off second corner just a moment ago. This is probably where he cut the tire, was coming off the second corner. Going down to turn 1 on the outside of the 40 car, on the outside of the 22.
And right there, Benny, they're going to touch, I believe. That.
You ever see Ward Burton go up?
Yeah.
Get a bit loose when he goes up. And there's 4 abreast off the corner.
And that probably cut the tire of Sterling Marlin right there.
I'm sure it did.
Skinner went right between them.
Hardly any doubt there's any contact there. As he goes to the corner, the left front tire is flat.
Jerry has more from pit road.
They just pulled that left front tire off with a huge gash in the outside of the sidewall. So 2 left side tires, and now Sterling is back on the racetrack.
The 28 and the 33 are racing for the 7th position. Kenny Irwin and Ken Schrader. And again, we compliment Irwin on his incredible run tonight. But just ahead is Kevin LePage, who's also on a good run. He's 6th.
Yeah, he has moved up from 7th position on the restart. So he's working his way towards the front.
And both Kevin LePage started 38 and Kenny Irwin started 36. So as Ned and I talked about at the very top of the show, it really doesn't matter where you start. You can work your way to the front if you have a good race car. And we see Kevin LePage right now trying to get on the inside of Bobby Hamilton and take that spot away. That's 5th place.
Indeed, here is LePage to the inside of Hamilton. They come down the straightaway here and run wheel to wheel. Now LePage inching ahead and taking over the 5th spot.
Well, don't be so.
Well, not yet.
So quick.
Bobby Hamilton might have a little something to say about that, but I don't know. He was able to get down there, so looks like he's able to accelerate off the corner and still can't complete the pass. You know?
Now, finally, LePage, I think, will get the spot. If he can just go up the racetrack, clear. Spotter clear. There you go. When you can use all that racetrack, coming off second corner, go up against that outside retaining wall, it really helps your momentum and helps your lap speed.
LePage 5th and Hamilton in 6th.
There's Kenny Schrader in 7th place. Kenny Irwin now back to 8th.
Dale Jarrett is running in 9th and Mark Martin is 10th. Pretty good run in this car since he took it over. 3 finishes of 17th or better in 4 races. Back up front, meanwhile, it's Jeff Burton leading Jeff Gordon by just a little over 2 seconds. How much is that on the racetrack? That much.
Here, 3rd place car, Rusty Wallace. He's about 3/4 of a second behind Jeff Gordon, there he is. The lap car of Steve Grissom between.
And the fourth place car is Bobby Labonte, and the lap car of Ricky Rudd, several laps down, is between them, he and Rusty Wallace. Labonte in fourth place.
In comes Kevin LePage in the Prime Star Ford with Terry Labonte, a lap car between those two. And then the Ken Schrader car in seventh. Right behind him is Kenny Irwin in the 28. Then comes Dale Jarrett in the 88.
Then Mark Martin. Mark Martin, of course, in 10th place.